Pope Francis High School in Springfield has had a lot of firsts over the last academic year. Back in December, the Pope Francis players christened their brand new theater on Wendover Road with a remake of a 1960s comedy. The play also marked a milestone for director John ANZIANO. Steve KILTONIC visited the cast and crew backstage before as well as on opening night and tells us more.
On December 13th, snow was falling outside Pope Francis Preparatory School, but inside over 120 people braved the inclement weather to watch the curtain open on The Wits, the premiere performance of the Pope Francis players in their brand new state-of-the-art facility. The historic significance of the night wasn't lost on Pope Francis's longtime director, John ANZIANO.
I've been waiting 7 years to say this. Welcome to our home.
The last time Pope Francis, then Cathedral High, had a permanent stage of their own was in 2011. In June of that year, a tornado swept through Springfield and surrounding towns, destroying homes, businesses, and damaging the school beyond repair.
We had just finished Beauty and the Beast, and we had actually just bought a brand new sound system that we got to use once before it was ruined.
Some costumes and props were salvaged, but everything else was lost, including set pieces and assorted memorabilia collected over the years. Despite the setback, productions continued nonstop for the next 7 years at 3 venues: Wilbraham Middle School, City Stage, and then Springfield Central High School. For ANZIANO, students and faculty, the wait was well worth it.
This is by far the nicest theater I've ever been in, never mind just worked in. I can honestly say this is nicer than some Broadway theaters I've seen shows in.
The 500-seat auditorium is one of the most technically advanced theatrical facilities in Western Massachusetts.
I would describe it as state-of-the-art. We have brand new lighting controls, brand new audio controls, all computer operated. We have some wireless controls so we can control the sound remotely from out in the audience and actually be able to hear what it sounds like instead of trying to guess whether or not it sounds good.
Acoustic panels strategically placed around the theater helps magnify the sound.
It's amazing the quality of sound that's in here. I think if we did the show without any electronics, you'd still be able to hear every actor, every word that was spoken on stage.
Over 100 lights are set up throughout the theater. Adjustments can be made from the carpeted catwalk high above the stage. Thousands of sound effects and background music can also be added to scenes at the click of a mouse. The tiered seating, with the audience looking down on the stage, allows for a more intimate experience between the performers and the audience. In addition, there are separate dressing and makeup rooms, a prop and costume room, and tons of storage for set design pieces.
All of those things have come together to allow us more time to actually put into the artistic points of the production.
ANZIANO said each play is student-run. Everything involved in the production, from lights to sound to makeup to props, is handled by students. This year marks the 40th production ANZIANO has directed at Pope Francis or Cathedral High School. During this time, he has produced 2 plays each year, despite the school moving 3 times and in 4 different venues. ANZIANO previously directed The Wits a while ago. He was leaning toward a comedy in part because of the makeup of the cast.
I knew the group of actors that I had, especially the seniors coming in this year, were very good at comedy. They had a knack for making people laugh and entertaining them, and they're very good at what you might call improv.
The Wits is a remake of a 1960s Glenn Hughes comedy. The plot revolves around a college student, Tommy Winter, who poses as a psychiatrist to make some quick money to fund his education.
Instead of winter, I'll call myself Summer. Dr. Summer. Got it?
The plan backfires when a group of assorted crazies, or nitwits, show up at his doorstep, leading to chaos and assorted hijinks. Senior Brad Zwier, who's been acting since the 8th grade, was cast in the role of Tommy. It's a role he's well suited for.
I like to joke around. I like to entertain my friends. I'm a clown. I'm also involved in the circus like my brother, and I'm a clown in that too. So I like making people laugh.
Zwier said finally having a theater of their own makes a world of difference for the Pope Francis players.
With this whole new stage and the whole new building, we've been able to work right in the theater that we're going to be performing the whole production.
Zweer is thrilled to be part of history in the making.
It's going to be so cool that we're the first to perform here and that we're starting a whole new legacy for Pope Francis Prep.
Another veteran actor is Seth Mastriani. Backstage, he was transformed into old man T.T. Trumbo, who's
hard of hearing, hard of seeing, and pretty much hard of mind, too, at the same time. He has a hard time pretty much understanding anything anybody's saying, so many of his lines seem out of place, but he's a really fun character to play, and I really enjoyed playing him.
Seth got most of the laughs on opening night.
Wake up! What's on fire? There's no fire!
I think we like to play to an audience, and that's one of the best things you can do in a comedy, and if the actors are having fun, then the audience will, too.
Faith remained an important component of the Pope Francis players. Before the opening act, Anziano and the cast gather backstage.
We especially thank you for the beautiful theater which has been built in your honor. We ask that you be with us tonight and keep us calm. Help us remember all of our lines and blocking. We ask that you be with our audience tonight.
In preparation for the play, the cast spent over 2.5 months practicing, 3 to 4 hours a night, 5 to 6 days a week.
The students really look out for one another, they care for one another, they want to see each other succeed. So it really does eventually become like a family.
Even though Anziano has been directing for nearly 2 decades, he still gets butterflies, not necessarily for himself, but for the students.
If a production goes off well, the students are going to remember all the hard work and teamwork that goes into a production and all the life lessons that they've learned that they'll take with them the rest of their lives. So I want to see that part succeed.
All the hard work paid off, and the Nitwits went on without a hitch.
Nuts to you! Nuts to you! We may be active, but we're nuts to you!
For the cast and crew, this performance is one they'll remember long after their days at Pope Francis end. For Reel to Reel, I'm Steve Kiltonic.